What did he do? He spit on the ground and made some mud and put it on his eyes and said, go wash in the pool of Siloam. You'll be healed. And he did. Jesus wanted to make wine for a wedding feast. So what did he use? 6 stone jars full of water. So God upholds the sparrow's wings. He paints the lilies of the field. He numbers the hairs on our head. The smallest life form is as much a creation of God as the giant whale that swims the ocean. I learned it from Albert Schweitzer. Don't step on a cricket. Yesterday I was sweeping out the leaves out of our porch. And I got them all out into the yard to be mulched by the mower. And there was an inch-long, wiggly, I don't know what you call it, caterpillar. It's got all this hairy, black hairy thing that they're everywhere out there. What are they called?
Woolly worm.
Woolly worm. I picked it up. I didn't step on it. That's God's creature. I looked at it and said, you're a creature of God. Gently put it over in the leaves where it can crawl and be saved. Who made that? God did. Little things, little places, little people. That's God. That's the way he works. So you don't have to be big and smart and from Chicago or Washington or St. Louis or San Francisco to be used by God. God uses shepherds, a little girl, a carpenter shop. And God uses little things that you can do, little tasks, for example. You know, Jesus could have done anything he wanted to. He could have ascended to heaven and come back every day. He could have stilled a storm every day. He could have been transfigured and shone like the brightness of the heaven in Pilate's hall. But he didn't. He didn't come with fireworks. You know that? He didn't come with a big splash. It wasn't on the front page of the newspaper. The reporters weren't there. And when he went to the cross, they were there mocking and saying, he who said he could rebuild the temple could save our life if he wanted to and save his own life. And Jesus is dying for the sins of the world. Do you have a mother? Everybody here has had a mother. My mother's gone. 86 years old. 2006, November. She went on. 4 o'clock in the morning, my family called and said, Calvin, Mother's going. If you want to say anything to her, you better say it now. I said, Mother, I love you. Thank you for all you did for me, Mom. 24-year-old girl brought this little baby boy into the world. Thank you. Mom, I promise you I'll be faithful to Jesus, and I'll meet you on the other side. We all love our mother, don't we? That's why we have Mother's Day. You know what? When Jesus was dying on the cross for the sins of the world, it's the greatest event in history. Never before, never again. The Son of God is dying for the sins of the world. Hell and heaven and eternity are in the balance. And you know what he does? He stops for a moment, looks down from the cross, and sees his mother. And he says, John, here is your mother. Woman, here is your son. Take care of mother. The point is, little things, little tasks, little relationships, little moments. God is at work. No detail is too small for Jesus to notice. When the Israelites got ready to come out of Egypt, God said, okay, I'm going to lead you out. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to kill a lamb, and I want you to take some blood from the lamb, and I want you to sprinkle it on the doorpost. And everywhere I see the blood, I will pass over you. There's no blood. It's going to be the death of the firstborn. Very important. Life or death in the balance. What did they sprinkle the blood with on the doorpost? Tell me. What? Branch. What kind of branch? What did they sprinkle the blood on the doorpost? The Bible is very specific. Take a certain type of hyssop. Hyssop. You know what a hyssop is? It's a weed. A weed, it is. It's not a beautiful flower. It's a weed. Like you put herbicides on your field to kill. A weed. God said, take a weed and sprinkle the blood. Little things, little tasks, little uses of details. So what is your job? It may be little. You may be a little person. You may be from a little place. But do little things well. And let God use you, and it may and it will make a difference in eternity. So whatever you have, give it to God. You have only 2 fish? Give them to God. You have 5 loaves? Let God have it. You have a walking stick? Let God have it. You don't need much. All you need is to give it to God. Are you a little person? Give yourself to God. Are you in a little place? God can use you. Can you do little things? Give it to God. You have a little talent? Give it to God. Whatever you have, give it to God. Are little things important? Are little people important? Are little tasks important? Are little places important? It's all there in the story of Jesus. That's the way God does things. Okay, it's Christmas. Christ came for you. He says, come unto me, all you that weary and heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. The question is, will you come to him? Give your life to him. Let him work in you. God doesn't force anybody to come. He only takes volunteers. Whosoever will may come. While we stand, while we sing. I am thine, O Lord.